Welcome, welcome, you beautiful, inquisitive souls. Thank you for checking back on my channel again here at The Craft of Living. We have another exciting unboxing for you today. If you're new here, welcome. If you are not, welcome back. We do periodic unboxings here and all kinds of stuff from discovering your purpose in life to expressing your passions, talking about all kinds of things. So welcome one and all to this unboxing. So I'm really excited about this, guys. I've known, first of all, I've started really studying tarot in earnest in 2019, though I've been on and off studying it throughout my whole teenage life. And I knew about Lenormand cards, but they just really didn't interest me. I wasn't really interested. I was only interested in tarot. And now that I'm about 4 or 5 years into tarot, deep into tarot, I got bit by the Lenormand bug. Okay, so if those of you out there that haven't heard of Lenormand, it is a completely different form of divination. So it is not tarot, it is not oracle, it is its own reading style. So Lenormand, just to give you a quick update, you can skip ahead if you already know about Lenormand. Lenormand is a cartomancy form of divination that is composed of 36 cards, and it is different than tarot in that it doesn't do any reversals. It's only 36 cards. It doesn't have court cards and minor arcana and major arcana and any of that. And it reads differently than tarot in that it is straightforward. It almost reads like a sentence. There's debate on if you should use your intuition with Lenormand or not, because it is so straightforward. If I were to compare the two, I would say that tarot reads from your heart and soul, and Lenormand reads from your logical linear mind, or it speaks to you in that way. So one is more logical and linear, and one is more heart and soul oriented. So I got bit by this bug, and I had to order myself a copy this year. So I am unboxing my very first Lenormand deck, and let me tell you, I scoured everywhere looking for Lenormand decks, and the Lenormand decks that have the playing cards on it, because you can make this deck from a regular deck of playing cards, did not appeal to me. I'm more of a visual person, an artsy person. I really like the artsy aspect, so I was drawn more to that. Now, you can get different opinions on what is a good deck to start with. Most people recommend you start very simplistic so that there isn't a lot of distraction on the card. This deck is not like that, just as a forewarning. So I'm excited to learn it, and I'm very new to it. So let's get into it. Let's get into this unboxing. This deck comes from the Netherlands. I got it on Etsy. And this deck comes in an anime style, since I am a fan of anime. So we're just going to jump right into it here. It comes in this box here. This particular seller did not sell this deck with a booklet. So I'll talk a little bit more about that later, and what I'm going to use as my beginner Lenormand reference. It was a recommendation off of Betty Tarot. I'll talk about that in a minute. But for now, let's just get right into the unboxing. So this is called the Anime Journey. And I just really loved, first of all, the artwork on it. So this is the back of the card. You can see that. It's the letter card, I believe, that they used on this. Very nice. Has a high gloss, so for those of you that record, it's going to give quite a glare, just to show you. But let's get into it here. And this particular artist says that these were drawn, but I don't know if they are AI, as some decks are just AI generated, which, you know, are very beautiful, but I tend to lean away from those because I really want to support the hand-drawn artists. Some people do both. They have AI draw up a little bit and then they go in and draw in the rest. I can't be certain what this is exactly. All I know is that I was drawn to the artwork on it, and in every single deck that I saw, there was always one or two cards that I really didn't like, but I couldn't find one that I liked absolutely every card. So also another good thing about the Lenormand cards is their size is pretty small compared to Oracle or Tarot. So they typically are going to be around the same size as a regular playing deck. So also what I liked about this artist is they gave a couple of options, duplicates, if you will, of certain cards. Not every card, just certain cards as options if you liked one more than the other, resonated with one more than the other. So this one is Rider, and I really liked the information this person carries on the back of their horse. It really does look like a messenger of some kind, or news, someone coming with news, or yeah, something new. So that one really spoke to me. And Clover, pretty straightforward. Love that rainbow on the top. Looks like a path to the clover. And they are numbered as well. You can see the numbers on the bottom. I wasn't crazy about the color choice in the font of the numbers on the bottom. And I also wish they had a little image of the corresponding card in the playing deck. Some decks do have that, where they give a little mini version of, oh, this is the 7 of Hearts, or this is the Ace of Diamonds, or whatever. But this one does not have that. So this might be a little bit of an advanced deck to start with, but we'll see what I'm in for. So House, and this one they give an option. You can have House A with the blue car in the front, or you can have House B with the red car in the front. I myself am definitely leaning towards the blue car. Which one do you like better? I like this one so far. I do notice in this printing, now this is an individual seller, so I guess these types of things are a little bit hard, but right there, you can kind of see that line right here. There's a printing line all the way down through the card, and I've seen it on a couple of different cards, but it's not that distracting. We'll just try and let that slide. This is Tree. Very straightforward type of reading. Very different. Also, the question forming is different. If you're a avid tarot reading, you always want to ask questions that are open-ended, that don't require a yes or a no. These cards are completely different. You do want more of a definitive question that you're asking. So if you weren't able to ask that question, should I take this job? Because tarot is more based on free will, which this is free will also. This deck, you would definitely, it would work well with that question. Would this job be good for me? Should I take this job? That would be a good Lenormand question. There's different ways to phrase your question for Lenormand as opposed to tarot. And you're going to get more out of it if you know how to phrase the question. So these questions are definitely going to be more direct. Should I take House A or House B? Would be a good question for Lenormand, whereas tarot would be what might I experience if I take House A, or what might I experience if I take House B, because everything is your empowerment and your free will of choice. So I like this picture of the clouds. Does look very anime style. And then in this version, she gives two options for Snake. And although it's 36, I'm still not going to go through the whole deck with you. We're going to skip forward in just a minute. We'll make it to 10 and then we'll start skipping forward. So this is Coffin, pretty straightforward. Bouquet, beautiful girl on there with beautiful flowers. This is not to be confused with the woman card. This is just bouquet, which means something entirely different. And as I mentioned before, a lot of the books recommend you don't get decks that have distracting images. You want just a bouquet on the card. You want just, let's see, you want just the clouds and not the girl. But I like to immerse myself in the cards, so we'll see how well that does as a reading style for Lenormand, because like I said, I'm super brand new. And we have Scythe here. I like that he's in the field, he's reaping something. Whip. This card is a little disappointing, being that I don't really see a whip in here at all. I mean, this looks like a little broom or a whisk, but not really a whip. I mean, I'm not that familiar with whips. Let me know if you've ever seen a whip that looks like this. Maybe you can flog yourself with this type of thing. I don't know really. Yeah, so this card I'm not so sure on. And birds, she gives you two options with the birds, which I'm definitely partial to this one. Oh, and then I said I was going to move on after 10. I'll just show you the child, because she gives you two choices in the child. This is also on her Etsy account too. She shows you these. And I'm going to start skipping forward. She gives you two choices for the fox, which I also like. This is a beautiful, beautiful picture of the stork. I absolutely love that. Mountain, to me this is pretty straightforward for mountain. I mean, I know there's birds in the picture and clouds, but I mean, the path is like right down the center, right? Like this is a mountain. Heart, I really love the heart one. It's so beautiful. For me, it does instill that feeling of wholeness and beauty and love, all-encompassing unconditional love. I just really love that. This is letter, and again, I don't know if you can see it right. Let me see if I can catch the light right around there. You can see this line right here. This goes through the whole card. But again, I can learn to ignore it, and this is my first deck after all. And we're working with very beautiful characters. I'm very picky on the anime that I watch. It depends on if I like the anime style, the drawing style of it. So man, I love that she gives two choices for the man. Subject man, whichever your preference is. And as well as the woman, she gives two choices, whichever one you like better. Sun, I feel like this one is pretty straightforward also. Very beautiful. Fish, I mean, there's always a subject within there. I mean, the original Lenormand deck, I think, which by the way, this is based from in France, a playing game back in France. And don't ask me to get into the history because I'm a newbie, but I know that it originates in France. And that the woman who started this predicted Napoleon's downfall with these cards. And then we have Anchor. I really like this anchor. It looks like the mother lode of all anchors. And last but not least is Cross, which I must admit is my least favorite card of the deck. I just don't appreciate, I guess, I don't know, the cow, and I don't know, I almost prefer it to just be a cross and maybe omit the cow. But some people might like that as a nice added touch. But that is the last card of the deck. And I think it's really beautiful. I like the size. I like the color. I like colors. I like vibrancy. This deck certainly delivers on that. The pictures are clear and crisp. They have character. There's a lightness and funness about it, which I like. She does give options on which one you might like better. Fox 1 or Fox 2. I like that as well. And it's cartoony, but it's not too babyish, which I also appreciate. The mice, she gives a couple of choices there. This is all posted on her website too, on Etsy. So check that out if you're interested. Also, I also recommend Emily Rose Divination. This is her cheat sheet. So cross keywords would be fate, burden, pain, and faith. And also the cards are categorized on very literal terms. There's neutral, positive, and negative cards. And I've highlighted which is which over here. So it really gives you that straightforward, kind of like what she calls Emily Rose, a sassy friend that tells it to you straight. Is he cheating on me? Yeah, it's likely that he is cheating on you. Kind of questions like that. And it will be fun to get into all of that and see how it is interpreted. But I do recommend Emily Rose Divination. You could probably look her up online. She's on emilyrosedivination.com. She has a lot of free resources. She gives a free introductory class to anybody that is wanting to learn Lenormand, which I will be learning and partaking as a jumping off place, and just really practicing with them daily. But thank you guys for stopping by again for this awesome deck coming from the Netherlands, the Enemy Journey Lenormand. And until we see each other next time, peace!